Hello everyone, today I want to show you a technique. I actually created this card and you'll see a video later on it, but you can see I did a postage stamp edge here, so I'm going to show you how to do this, and then I'm also going to show you how to do what I actually changed this card to. So this shows you what, I'm just going to give you a comparison here. This is the standard postage stamp edge. I'm just going to punch it out here on just a white piece of paper so you can see the difference. And you can see how the one I made compares to it. And I'll show you how to do the one I made as well as how to do your own scallop. And you can make them any size you want. All right, so you can see the difference here. One is probably about 1/8 of an inch and the other one is about a little over 1/4 of an inch or so, I would say. Maybe 3/8 of an inch. So here, I'm going to show you, I'm just going to put it out here so you can see the comparison. Okay, and I zoomed in so you can see better. Hopefully it doesn't go out of focus or anything. So the first thing you're going to do is actually measure, take a measurement, and you're going to draw a line. And I actually did this one, I was trying to figure out which way I was going to do this. Let's see, I did it 1/8 of an inch up from the bottom. I used my Tim Holtz ruler, but I actually switched out because I don't want to get any marker on the Tim Holtz one. So I'm just going to use this cheap Medicare one, actually, since I'm going to use my felt tip pen here. You're just going to draw a line, so you can, and I'm doing this, you can definitely do it in pencil, but I'm doing it in this ink, so it'll be a little bit easier to see. Actually, it wasn't 1/8 of an inch, that was 1/4 of an inch. So I'm going to use this small Recollection circle punch, and I love this little tiny circle punch. It's perfect. And this is, let's see, it's 1/4 of an inch circle. So you just line up the edge of the punch all the way up to that line. You can kind of see the little blue line right there. So I was having some issues. I'm going to zoom in here. And you can just barely see the edge of that blue line right there that I'm going to punch up to. There it is. So you just punch there. And it's just going to do a half a circle, or however close you punched it, or however close you drew your line. So then you just basically keep punching along this line. You're going to get them as close as possible together. And it's not perfect, it doesn't have to be. You're going to get them as close as possible together, and then all the way up to the blue line. And you can see I was not exactly consistent on some of these, and I sped it up so you could see it quicker. So now you have this very kind of uneven looking edge here. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go trim along just trim the tips off, and you can see exactly what I did. It makes it a little bit more consistent looking, and it makes it that postage stamp edge. And again, you just trim off the tips here on the very end. You can do it with your scissors. I have a guillotine paper cutter, and I just used that to make sure I had a straight line when I cut off the very tips. So next, I'm going to use this, actually the same blue paper. It's a little bit easier to see it. I'm just going to punch out a whole bunch of little circles here. I'm going to show you how to do a scallop. I'm going to use the same 1/4 inch punch. I love this punch for cards. It's just big enough, but not too big. Now, if you're doing scrapbook layouts, you may want to use a larger circle punch, just so it's a little bit, takes up a little bit more space, since you're going to have a 12 by 12 space. Okay, again, I drew my 1/4 inch line, so you can see where I'm going to put this. And I'm going to take some glue runner here, and I'm just going to run it right along. I ended up having to go back and do it closer to the edge, but I ran my glue right along the paper here, and I'm just going to take these circles and line them up side by side. Zoom in here for you. Line them up side by side right up to that drawn pencil line. Then I decided, actually, I need more glue on this thing. So I'm going to put more glue, and I drew my line a little bit closer. The first one was 1/4 of an inch, and I went back and made it 1/8 of an inch. That way you could see more of the circles on the other side. Just keep lining them up. Try to get it as consistent as possible. Again, does not have to be perfect, but just getting it close makes it show up a little bit better. Makes it look a little bit better, rather. All right, so I'm going to show you how I just take off this other one because I was not happy with it. Some cases a postage stamp edge would be perfect, but I wanted it to be a little less harsh on the edge here. And you'll see the difference. There we go. So I just sandwiched, you can see what I did there. I sandwiched the scallop circles in between the card base and the backing piece. So whenever you actually open the card, you'll see the white piece and the scallops poking out, but you won't see the rest of the circle or the glue or the line I drew or anything like that. Just lining it up here, and then I'll trim off the edges. It does not have to be perfect. For some reason, I just kept messing with it. Excuse me. All right, and then you just trim off the edges, you know, depending on how long you made your little piece of paper. Oh, there we go. And there you have a scallop edge. So you'll be able to see there's the scallop edge that I made myself using a circle punch and then a backing piece and glue and a ruler, of course. And then here's the opposite, which is the postage stamp edge. All right, there you go. Thanks for joining me. Let me know if you have any questions.